Ken Montgomery, former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, and of course Michael Bryant, our correspondent who was live on this trial. Tim, let me start with you. You don't think that this trial should have actually been played out in Savannah?
Well, it depends on who you are. If I'd have been the defense lawyer, I would have done everything I could to get it moved somewhere else. There were just so many emotions swirling around this community, and you run an incredible risk that at least one of the jurors would have known somebody or had some agenda being a member of that community.
Ken, do you think that's do you think that matters? I mean, I know you have an opinion about this, but a lot of times I sort of think when it's a racial issue, is it the city that matters? Is it the state that matters?
Where would you move it?
Where would you? That's my point.
Stone Mountain, Georgia? I don't think that would have been any different.
Mind you, this is
inner
a socialite
city Atlanta.
issue too.
I'd have moved it to inner city Atlanta and gotten more African Americans on the jury.
I mean, I think that would have been ideal, and as a defense attorney, you think of these things, but it never happens. And quite honestly, with
No,
you,
it always happens.
Well,
if you get a change of venue, it's yeah.
I don't think it does. And here in New York, the one time that I can remember a change of venue case was where a case that it didn't help. It was a case where in the Diallo case, they changed the venue from the Bronx, which you would have gotten a more minority jury, to Albany, where you got less of a minority jury. So I hardly ever see it helping the defense. It just doesn't happen that way. We have a thankless job where, you know, unfortunately, jurists are not sympathetic to our positions a lot of times. To actually move that, you would have to agree that there may be some racial issues that have to be addressed, and this is not a country where we're comfortable with doing that. So I don't think it would have happened.
I keep coming back to this issue of race, and I guess I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. In this case, the evidence was so overwhelming. You had Kathleen Clark, who had no dog in this fight, who called an anonymous tip in to the police about what Michael Thorpe and his friends were saying. She's no jailhouse snitch. She's nobody facing down any kind of charge or any kind of sentence that needs to be mitigated. She's a nobody in all of this, and she shares the same story with those who are accused of just telling a story to make their lot in life better. To me, this case, and again, I gotta say, I'm not the attorney here, but I'm a pretty good juror. Case is kind of open and shut for me, all about the evidence. But yet, Tim, you think it could have gone either way. Why?
I do. There was no physical evidence linking any of these individuals to the crime. That's an incredible issue.
But we're at a point where circumstantial can be just as strong.
But actually, the eyewitnesses to the crime, the other people who were with the young lady, they couldn't even identify these people. And there was some discrepancy about whether or not maybe one of them may have been white. Remember that? So this case had a lot of holes, and they could have been reasonable doubt.
But, Ken, don't you agree that, oftentimes we have a murder victim who's never able to say, I think it's guy number 5 in the lineup. We never get that luxury.
Well,
so in this case, the fact that there were some people who were in and amongst the criminal activity who could maybe point out, I kind of thought that they were secondary to this whole case.
Well, I kind of have to agree with Tim. You have witnesses who are placing someone of a whole different race as one of the suspects in this thing. You have the majority of the people's case being supported by people with credibility issues. When you have that in any defense case, you have a decent shot, and you have
But then you got your Kathleen Clark.
Yeah.
No credibility issue there. Everybody kept saying she wanted the money. She wanted the money. She called in anonymously. How can you get the money if you call in anonymously?
There's still, I have to agree with Tim in the sense that there was some holes in this case as from a defense perspective. It wasn't the biggest holes in the world, but there were some holes.
That's
and
exactly
it wasn't an
my
airtight
point.
Case.
There are always holes everywhere. Nothing's a perfect science, but they were pretty big holes, don't you think? I know you're a defense attorney and you can't say that, but they were pretty big holes.
I'm a former prosecutor as well, but let me tell you, if I'm a defense attorney and I'm looking at my paperwork and I see that one of the main witnesses, the witness who was on the scene during this shooting, during the robbery, and says that there were white participants involved, I'm salivating.
Yeah, that one disturbed me. That did bother me.